to the Walk the Line podcast. Real stories of real people.
Every summer, millions tune in for the same fantasy. Beautiful people falling in love under the Spanish sun. But Love Island isn't just selling romance. It's selling something else. While contestants chase brand deals and Instagram followers, producers orchestrate something darker. Sleep deprivation, manufactured conflict, isolation tactics borrowed from interrogation manuals. The villa isn't paradise. It's a psychological pressure cooker designed to make people crack. And some never recover. Think about it. Inside the villa, there is no clocks, no watches, no books, no music, and zero contact with the outside world. The islanders aren't just on holiday, they're being unanchored from reality. Producers call it immersion. Psychologists call it something completely different. Think about it. Inside the villa, there are no clocks, no watches, no books, no music, and zero contact with the outside world. The islanders aren't just on holiday, they're being unanchored from reality. Producers call it immersion, but psychologists call it something completely different. Marcel Somerville from season 3 revealed that even the oven clock is taped over. Amy Hart described it simply as time doesn't exist. In the villa, the sun is your only calendar. Strip away someone's sense of time and you strip away the logic. These aren't guests, they're lab rats. And once their internal clock is shattered, that's when the real work begins. Most viewers don't realise that the iconic fire pit dumpings, the ones that look like they happen at 9 p.m, they usually don't even start filming until after midnight. Savannah Darnell exposed the reality of the 3 a.m. debrief. Producers intentionally keep the cast awake until the sun starts peeking over the Balearic Sea, forcing them into the beach hut to talk about their feelings while the stress hormones are redlining. It's a simple biological hack. A tired brain is an emotional brain. If you've ever wondered why an islander would have a full-blown meltdown over a missing water bottle, well, there's your answer. They aren't crazy, they're just sleep-deprived and trapped in a world where the only voice they hear is a producer barking through a loudspeaker. But breaking their sleep is just the beginning. The producers don't just want their nights, they want to own their entire future. And that is where the real trap is set. Before contestants even board the flight to Mallorca, producers sell them the dream. Give us 8 weeks and we'll give you the world. They point to Molly May Hague and her £5 million empire. But what they don't mention is that Molly May isn't the blueprint. She's the lottery winner who keeps everyone else buying tickets. The financial trap springs long before the first episode airs. To even get cast, contestants gamble everything. Amy Hart spent £20,000 on a pre-show transformation, £13,000 on teeth alone, just to be camera ready. With only a minimal clothing allowance from producers, most contestants max out credit cards on villa wardrobes they just can't afford. They're not chasing love, they're outrunning debt. Then in January 2023, producers changed the game entirely. The social media ban. Officially, it was to protect contestants from online abuse. In reality, it executed their earning potential. By banning families from posting during filming, the show killed contestants' momentum. Past Islanders gained 1 million followers while still in the villa. Post-ban, engagement collapsed. Season 9 winners emerged with a fraction of the audience from the people from 2019. The domino effect was brutal. No followers meant no brand deals from Boohoo or Misguided. No brand deals meant no way to pay back the high-interest loans for those pre-show makeovers. Coco Lodge returned to civilian life within months. Follower count was too low for brand deals to care. But here's the trap, you just don't go back when you're a household face. Employers won't hire you because you're too famous, a distraction. Brands won't pay you because your numbers are too small. It's a specific kind of high-profile bankruptcy. Strangers recognise you in every grocery store, but you're counting change for the bus. Rachel Feeney from season 7 experienced this at its cruelest. returning to her old job only to have customers recognise her and mock her villain edit to her face. The dream doesn't just fail, it ruins your ability to earn a living. You become unhireable. You're too big for a 9 to 5, but too broke for the red carpet. And while financial ruin can eventually be escaped, there's something else contestants carry forever. That something else is a permanent digital scarlet letter. Producers don't just record what happens, they invent who you are. Through strategic editing, they rewrite your identity to fit whatever narrative drives ratings. And once you're cast as a villain, the public never lets you escape. This is why movie night exists. It's a trap engineered to turn small doubts into explosive televised breakdowns. In July 2021, this manipulation shattered Faye Winter. Producers showed her a deliberately misleading, context-stripped clip of Teddy Soares, designed specifically to trigger her. It worked. She spiraled into a 25-minute meltdown that generated record Ofcom complaints. But the real damage happened after the cameras stopped. That edit followed Faye home. Her career as a property manager was over. She wasn't a person anymore. She was a meme for toxic rage. The public didn't just dislike her, they wanted her destroyed. Death threats poured in. She became terrified to leave her house. Once producers banned you as a villain, you're basically marked for life. And the show's so-called duty of care system, it's a legal shield, not actually protection. Look at Tasha Guri in Season 8. Producers orchestrated games like Snog, Marry, Pie that encouraged targeted bullying against her on national television. The show's psychologists didn't intervene because the bullying was making the 9pm's ratings soar. They aren't there to protect contestants. They're there to protect the network from lawsuits over the damage they're actively causing. Debt can be repaid, mental breakdowns can be hidden behind PR statements. But for Love Island, the consequences didn't stop at bankruptcy or therapy. They escalated until people started dying. In June 2018, the consequences became undeniable. Sophie Graydon was found dead in her parents' home in Medburn. She was 32. She died by hanging. Her blood was a mess of cocaine and alcohol, a mix that basically short-circuits the brain and forces people to act on their darkest thoughts. But the real poison was her villain edit. It triggered a 24/7 digital lynch mob that followed her everywhere. She couldn't get a job. She couldn't walk down the street without being harassed. And she couldn't see a way out. So she ended it. The show didn't slow down. Less than a year later, in March 2019, the machine claimed Mike Thalasitis. The public didn't even know his real name. They just knew him as Muggy Mike. A garbage label the producers slapped on him just to make a storyline work. He was found hanging from a tree in Edmonton Park. He was only 26. Next to him was a black notebook filled with letters to his family and desperate positive thoughts. He was broke. His fame was a joke, and he was suffocating inside a character he'd never asked to play. That pattern of death eventually crawled all the way to the top of the call sheet. In February 2020, the show's own host, Caroline Flack, took her own life in her Stoke Newton flat. Just like Sophie and Mike, she died by hanging. It happened right as the tabloids were tearing her apart. She spent years helping the producers dump contestants for entertainment, but the second she became a PR liability, ITV dumped her to save the brand's image. 3 deaths in 20 months. Think about that. If 3 workers died at a construction site in that time frame, authorities would shut it down immediately. Someone would face criminal charges. When a single guest dies after appearing on the Jeremy Kyle show, ITV cancelled the entire programme within 48 hours. So why is the villa still open? Because of £100 million. That's how much ad revenue this show brings in every year. For executives, Sophie, Mike and Caroline weren't humans. They were operating costs. They updated some duty of care paperwork, hired a few therapists for the cameras, and kept the machine running because the profit was worth the blood. But don't just blame the producers. They're the architects. but the viewers are the executioners. The machine only builds the cage because the audience pays for the ticket. Every time the public laughs at a viral clip of Faye Windsor screaming in a man's face, or shares a meme of Tasha Guri sobbing on a beach hut, they are pulling on the lever on the gallows. Viewers claim to want true love for their favourite couples, but the ratings prove they have cannibalistic hunger for trauma. They don't want to see the contestants find the one. They want to see the exact second a human spirit snaps for 9 p.m. entertainment. The dark truth isn't just on screen, it's in the mirror. The producer isn't the only monster here. The real monster is anyone still tuning in. So, do you want to still watch the next episode?